I'm Grace Torrey, and you're listening to That Girl the Podcast. Grab a beverage of choice and settle in, because the new episode is starting now. Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl, Grace Torrey, and I am back with a whole new podcast episode. If you are watching right now, I have a little guest with me. My dog is right here. She's looking out the window. So this is Evie. I think she's been on the podcast before. But yeah, she's going out with me. She's been vibing with the bunnies a lot better. So, you know, if she's not going to mess with them and they're not going to mess with her and they're going to coexist, I don't really care if she's in here. So I brought her dog bed in here. And it's been nice to have her. I missed having her around. So, yeah. She's just looking out the window right now, doing her little guard dog duties, I guess. But, yeah. I haven't podcasted in a week. So, that's crazy. It's like I almost forgot how to. So, I think in today's episode, I'll just catch up on Gatlinburg, because we went to Gatlinburg for a couple days, what I've been up to, and kind of see where the episode takes us. So yeah, I took like a week of PTO. I was feeling really burnt out to begin with everything. Work, podcast, other podcasts, all of my other stuff that I'm working on. I just felt so burnt out to the point that anything was just the absolute worst, and I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to do a single thing. So we were going this weekend, or I guess it was last weekend now, like Friday through Sunday, to Gatlinburg already to go to a car show. Josh is really into cars. So we were debating between going to Gatlinburg for longer or just taking PTO, but we ended up taking a week of PTO, both of us, and then spending 3 days in Gatlinburg, and then the other 4 days we've just been catching up because both of us are extremely burnt out. So that's really what we've been up to. I thought that I would clean more, but I'm honestly not upset about it because, like I said, I really needed to rest. So I'm building a website for one of my projects, so I did that. But that's really the only thing I've done since we've been here, like, at the house. I've really just hung out, watched TV, literally just chilled because my brain, I still don't think that I'm, like, completely back. Like, I think it would take, like, a solid month of just existing away from everything for me to get back to 100%, but I think that I'm feeling a lot better in the sense that I have some sort of motivation to do something, which is better than where I was at. So you guys know, I've talked about it 1,000 times, I really struggle with burnout because I don't take the necessary time needed to rest. I just am very go. I don't stop ever, like can't stop, won't stop. And I have talked about how that's bad. I've talked about how you shouldn't ever do that. I've talked about how I've tried to stop, and I think that I've gotten much better about it, but I think that I definitely still have a lot more room to grow when it comes to learning how to rest. But yeah, it was really nice to get away from stressors and the everyday hustle. I think both of us were getting to the point where we were very on edge, and like the littlest thing would set us off. So I think that being able to kind of get away from that and just like not fight and be stressed all the freaking time was really good and important for us and like our relationship. So that was great. Basically what we did was we went to the show, and if you don't know, it's called Slammed Enough. They do like shows all over the US, but this one was in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. So we got a cabin, and basically those kinds of cars, I don't even know what to call them because they're not all like stance cars, but they mostly are. They all just kind of take over, and so the whole strip, because Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge are like one very long strip, it's just all these cars and there's neon lights and you can just sit on the strip and watch them all drive by. They have shows and meets, and you just get to look at all the different cars and like get ideas for yourself, but also talk to other people. So I was really excited to go because I've never been to like anything like that. For Josh, he kind of took a break right before we started dating, so I've been to like one car meet with him, but it was really kind of cool to see what he what he gets so excited about, why, like what the hype is, I guess. So it was really cool to see that and see all the different cars and see what everyone does and all the different ways that they get their cars ready and what you can do with each like different car. So it was really cool. I did post it on my personal Instagram. I didn't post too much. I posted like a video and a picture, but that is down below if you want to kind of see what I'm talking about. I also tagged Slammed Enough if you want to like click on it and see what was going on that whole weekend, because they posted so much. But it was super interesting and super cool, and I definitely see where Josh is coming from when he does all of this car stuff now, whereas before I was like, okay, you're spending a lot of money for a show car that you can't really drive every day. I don't get it. Now I at least kind of get it, so that was cool. We got to see a lot of our friends because a lot of people that we know are in that car scene, so we ran into them down there. So we just basically hung out with friends all weekend. I think the craziest part is we got a cabin. And we booked the cabin the day before we left. So we kind of were thinking to ourselves, like, is this a scam? If it's a scam, we'll just get a hotel room. It's kind of weird that it was a good price and it wasn't booked out yet and it was in a really good location. So we're like, okay. So we get there and it's a nice cabin. It's a 2-bedroom and then a pull-out couch. And we're like, okay, we have 3 beds for the 2 of us. Wild. But we get out there and the Wi-Fi system is sitting there, but it's not set up yet, so we don't have Wi-Fi. We don't have a signal, so we can't text or call anyone. We can't check anything. We can't text our friends and say, hey, let's go do this. If there's an emergency, there's nothing we can do about it. The outlets were still like disconnected to the wall. They were live, like things were plugged into these outlets, but the outlets were hanging out from the wall. There was mold in the showers. So yeah, it was not a great experience. I haven't even written the review for the Airbnb yet because I don't even know what to say. I was truly speechless. It was fine. We had fun. We weren't really there except for like sleeping. So it wasn't the biggest inconvenience. It was just inconvenient, like mildly. Also kind of funny, if you guys don't know, I got a new car a couple months ago. I got a 2023 Bronco. I like to joke that I sold my soul for that car. I love that car. We ended up taking that one up because Josh's car was not ready for any sort of show. So we left his car there, which I'm actually really glad about because I don't think it would have made it up the mountain. I don't think it would have made the 4-hour drive, but it's fine. So we get there, and the next morning, Josh wakes up before me, and he kind of wakes me up, and he's like, you're not going to believe this. And I'm like, what am I not going to believe? And there's a balcony where you can, like, see the car from the balcony, like, you can see the driveway. There were chipmunks, like 6 of them, having a contest, like, throwing acorns at my car, and Josh yelled at them, and they just kind of, like, laughed at him in the way that little chipmunks can. And so he comes in, he tells me this, and I don't believe him. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, there's no way. Well, then I kind of forget about it, and then we get out later, like an hour later, to go out, and what do you know? There's chipmunks chucking acorns, and they almost hit me. Like, they hit, like, a foot in front of me when they, like, start chucking them. And I'm like, okay. So I walk out to my car and there's a dent on it. There's a dent on the hood. So we need to get that dent fixed. It's not huge. It's about acorn sized. But I was flabbergasted with the audacity of these little freaking chipmunks. And they did it the entire time we were there. The entire time we were there. We got there Friday. We're there all day Saturday and then left Sunday. And the entire time we were there, they were chucking their little acorns and driving me insane. So lucky we only got one little dent, but absolutely not. Absolutely not. The audacity in the room. Is the audacity in the room with us right now? Like, I was shook. So yeah, but that was pretty much it. It was just a fun little trip, just hanging out with friends, vibing, not doing anything crazy. I cleaned my bunny's room, which I'm really excited about. I gave them a new setup. I don't know if I told you guys this, but they're in bunny jail right now until they can learn to get along. The thing about bunnies is they have to bond to each other, and if they're not they can fight and do all kinds of things, and they, like, they were bonded and now they're not anymore. So they get in a little arguments and they fight and it drives me insane. So I put them in a little bunny jail cell and they're not allowed out until they learn to bond to each other. So I'm obviously like taking the proper steps and not just, I didn't just like throw them in there and say it's a free for all, but they are locked in there. They're staring at me because they know I'm talking about them. They're locked in there until they learn to get along, and we are doing the bonding process over again. So that's one thing I've been working on. But there's not much. I think I've just really been focused on questioning what I want, because the thing about when you're burnt out is it's hard to picture where you see yourself in 6 months or a year, or what you actually want or what you're actually planning to do or anything like that. Like, you just are stuck in the mindset of like, how do I get from point A to point B? Like, you're in survival mode. So my main goal was to kind of figure out what direction I wanted to go in, what the heck I'm doing with my life, and so on. So I'm trying some new things, launching some new things, keeping up with the same things. I don't know. It's rough. It's rough out there. Being in your 20s is no joke. It's just not it. It's not it. I don't know. I think that my biggest thing is that I need to stop being such a people pleaser. I don't tell people what I'm thinking or what's on my mind a lot because I am so bleh. Like, I just don't want to upset anyone. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. I don't want to mess up the flow or inconvenience anyone or anything. So I just keep it to myself a lot. And that is not the way to do things. That's not great. That's not the vibe. So I am working on that. I think that I need to genuinely have some conversations with some people that I have been putting off, and I don't know when I will have them. I don't think I'm ready yet, but I definitely know that I need to. So I guess that this break was good for teaching me that. I'm learning to be softer in the right ways. Like, I am at that point where I am such a people pleaser that when I hit my point and when I finally can't take it anymore, I am very like like matter of fact. I get very like, I don't want to use the term aggressive, but I just like, I have no mercy. Like, I'm just like, listen, why did you treat me this way? I don't get it. I don't like it. You need to stop treating me this way. It's not fair. I deserve better, blah, blah, blah. But I let it get to that point where I bubble over. Whereas if I would have just said something in the beginning, I would not have reacted in such a explosive way. So I'm learning to do that. I'm learning to not bubble over, and also, like, if something bothers me, I'm learning to not rant to other people about it, whereas I can just talk to that person that the issue is with. So that's where I'm at right now. I don't know. Everything is just hard. Being in your 20s is hard. I think the biggest thing right now for me is that before I went into this break, I why can I talk? My default state was stressed. Like, I was default, like, not good. I was sad or stressed. Sad because I was so stressed. Like, when I was just chilling, I was tense. And coming out of this break, my biggest goal, because I know that Rome wasn't built in a day and everything is not going to, like, immediately go from stressed and hard and crazy to flowers and peace and love and kindness like overnight. But my biggest goal was to have a calm default state, a peaceful default state, one of peace, like just not to be stressed, not a healthy amount of stress, I think is what I mean. Everyone's going to be stressed. It is good for you to be stressed in certain scenarios because your body gets stressed for a reason. However, to be stressed to the extent that that is your default state and you are not good is not healthy, not safe, not a place you need to be in. So, my goal was to have a happy default state where when I'm just vibing, I'm happy, and I'm calm. I'm not sad and I'm not stressed. Because being sad at your default state is really freaking sucky. And I just also really want to work on not complaining. Like, I've noticed that when I talk to people, the jokes I make are self-deprecating or complaining, or I'm just negative in general, and it's become a response that is subconscious. It is literally a subconscious response. It is not something that I am controlling consciously. It's just my natural response at this point. And I don't want to be like that anymore. I don't want to continue promoting negative thoughts, promoting negative actions, promoting complaining, promoting stressing. Not only is it not healthy, but I don't want to. I'm a huge believer in manifesting. I think that the energy you give out, you attract, and I don't want to attract negative energy anymore. And it's not healthy. Like, my calm state I want to be at is healthy. So I think that that's one thing that I've achieved for the most part. I definitely am having to catch myself, but I'm at the point where I'm at least able to catch myself and I'm not realizing it later, like looking back and saying, oh my gosh, that was negative or whatever. Now in the moment I can choose to be negative or positive, which sounds hard. Like, that sounds bad. It's like breaking a habit. When you first try and break a habit, it's very hard because it's involuntary, right? Like, your reactions are subconscious, and you kind of have to catch yourself and say, whoa, 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 we're not doing that. And I'm past the hard part. It's just keeping it up, and I'm really nervous that when I go back to work, it's going to be bad again because I'm going to be stressed out. But I go back to work tomorrow, so I'll already have gone to work when you see this. I'm filming this on Tuesday. So hopefully I can keep a positive mindset. It's just really hard when my job is customer service because people are screaming at me all day. But I'm really going to try my best to do it. And I know you guys are just like, what are you talking about? But it's little steps and little things. And I know this may not sound like a big deal, but it's what we got to do. And it's what I'm focusing on. Yeah, I'm just really sad. I really like doing whatever I want, obviously. So I don't want to go back. But you got to do what you got to do, you know? But we need to talk about something that has been going on this whole week, and that is Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. I don't have much to say about it, just that it's happening. I don't know how I feel about it. I did realize that he went to UC, which Josh played football at UC for like a semester, or I think it was a whole year actually. But yeah, so basically, Josh and Travis Kelce played at the same place. My boyfriend basically knows Travis Kelce, therefore I basically know Taylor Swift, right? That's how that works? Yeah. Awesome. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously, I support it. I support Taylor and whatever she wants to do. She's about to leave for Europe, so I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. My personal opinion is that she's probably just having fun before she leaves. I don't think it's anything serious. But that's just my personal opinion, and I obviously support her either way. No matter what, I'm not gonna, like, I don't dislike him. It's her life, and she's vibing, and I'm happy for her if she's vibing. That's just, like, my personal thoughts on it. I did think it was funny because I thought his name was Kelce. Like, everyone's out here like, Taylor, I'm so glad Taylor put him on the map. And I'm out here thinking his name was Kelce this whole time. I didn't even know how to pronounce his name correctly until recently. So that kind of cracks me up. Kind of funny, kind of silly, kind of goofy. Love that for him and for me. What else? I don't know. What else? What is the rest of the tea right now? Oh, I do want to say that all these white men are getting so mad that Taylor Swift is all over the NFL. I think it's hilarious. Why is it hilarious? Well, one, she turned down the Super Bowl twice. So that's hilarious. Two, I think it's funny because she has nothing to do with it. I can guarantee to you, guarantee it is not a PR stunt. She's Taylor Swift. She's bigger than the NFL. Also, she's been touring NFL stadiums. She obviously has some sort of contract with the NFL already. I she doesn't need the publicity. And I think that if the Travis Kelce team, the Kelce brothers, I said it again, see, I can't even pronounce his name. His team, I think if they came to Taylor and were like, we should make something out of this, she'd be like, nah, fam, because she is so much bigger than that. I just don't think she needs any PR stunts right now. She's PR full. She's going on tour. She's got the album coming out. She's got the movie coming out. She does not need a PR stunt. I genuinely think she's just living her life. But I think that she is at the point that the NFL is using it. They are milking it. Barstool, NFL, anyone else who is posting this, what is it, Heinz Ranch and Ketchup, they are the ones making it much bigger than it is. She is just hanging out. She is vibing. And I think that it's funny that men are so angry, and there are some pick-me's out there that are also angry that she is taking over the NFL when she doesn't have any say in the paparazzi catching her, in random people filming her, in Heinz turning into a seemingly ranch thing, and the NFL putting pictures of her on their their Twitter feed. Obviously they're going to do that because that's smart, because she is so big that is the smart thing to do. They are capitalizing on a situation that happens to be happening. Like, they are capitalizing on her because she is bigger than the NFL. She is so big that they can literally use her to grow themselves, right? Correct. Therefore, she doesn't need them. They need her. So for everyone, like men and their pick-me wives, to go after her and be like, just get her, keep her out of the NFL. Honey, talk to the NFL about it. She didn't do nothing. She's just attending the game. She's just attending. She is a spectator. So why don't you talk to the NFL and stop taking it out on her? And that's all I'm going to say about it. That's all I'm going to say. She is vibing. She's having the time of her life before she goes on a European trip. Before she, well, yeah, right? Because she's going to Europe before she's going to Europe before she comes back to the US. She is vibing and having the time of her life. If she wants to do that in Kansas City, she's going to do that in Kansas City. If she wants to do that in Arrowhead Stadium, she's going to do that in Arrowhead Stadium. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Okay? It just made me so mad that everyone's taking it out on Taylor. This is the freaking patriarchy. At it again. Take it out on the corporations. Don't take it out on her. She's not bothering anybody. So yeah, I think that's it. I don't know how long this is. Hopefully it's long enough. I don't think it's going to be super long because it's just me talking about my life and Taylor Swift, but what else is new. I hope you guys had a great week. I'm so glad to be back. I missed you so much. It was so weird not posting. It was definitely great from like a rest standpoint. I really honestly thought that I would be more... I know I'm burnt out because I always have like an itch to work. Like I am a workaholic. I always want to be working. But I was so burnt out that I didn't have that itch. I just wanted to lay down. So it was weird not posting, but it was also to the point that I needed it. I was so burnt out. So yeah, that is pretty much it. If you haven't, don't forget to leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. It blows up the podcast more than you know. Don't forget to like on YouTube or leave a comment what your favorite part of this episode was. If you want to talk about Taylor Swift, I'd love to talk about it. But I think that's pretty much it. I love you guys so much. Don't forget to follow on whatever platform you're watching on. I upload every single Sunday and Wednesday. If you're watching this on Wednesday night, I hope you have a great night. If you're watching this any other day, I hope you have a great morning, afternoon, or night. I love you so much. And I will see you in my next podcast episode. Bye, guys.